we're at the end of week 27 of taking 100 milligrams of sertraline to treat PPPD and CPTSD. I'm recording from under the River Thames again. I've done this before. We're in the just coming off the M25 at Dartford in London. Not that you're interested in that, but anyway, so it just explains why the light must be going a bit funny for you. Oh yeah, there I am, I'm in the dark. Anyway, not a bad thing. I've just been talking to someone who's following me at the moment called Fen. Hi Fen. They were saying that they're experiencing all sorts of symptoms, and they're really feeling the energy in their body, and they can't seem to sit still, and they just want to be on the move all the time. And there's going to be some of you that can really relate to that, and others of you will actually struggle to actually move, which is the weird thing about this. Each person's brain sort of attaches different phobias, like, to different postures and different movements. So yeah, it's really, but it's all the same thing. And I just, initially, before I knew that they couldn't sit still, I was saying, you just, when you realise it's energy in your body, you just need to work on calming yourself down. But when you're in the state where you're like I was last January, where I actually looked at my pedometer, my step count on my phone for the year, and I was doing 28,000 steps a day, and that's just crazy. I couldn't actually believe, my jaw dropped when I read that. I knew that I was doing a lot of miles, but I didn't realise how many steps. And when you put it like that, that's crazy. And it's no good saying to somebody that's in that state, "Oh, just calm down." That doesn't work. And also, something that I'm just going to part some knowledge with you from experience, again, is when I first started to follow the Steady Coach. Obviously, she's amazing. She has a wealth of resources and information, and I was looking at things like somatic tracking and meditation and this, that and the other. But I didn't realise that at the time wasn't something that I could possibly do, because I had to work on soothing myself rather than calming down. The calming down comes later. So my advice to you, if you're in that state, is at the moment just work on using different tools, like I used an exercise ball. I'd have a couple, actually. I even took one on holiday with me so that I could sit and eat my dinner comfortably. I looked crazy, but I didn't care, because nobody knew how I was feeling. I'd have one at my friend's. In fact, I still have got one at my friend's house, so that when I go there, I'm not really uncomfortable, and I can actually sit on the ball, and I'd move my body in the direction of how I was feeling the movement internally. I'm still feeling internal movement. It hasn't gone away, but it's not in the forefront of my mind. It's not as prominent. It's in the background, and because I'm showing it less fear and less attention, it's starting to fade. So I'm able to sit for a lot longer. But again, because this is such a mad thing, the prediction errors that the brain is creating, I'm able to sit okay in a cafe, for example. Well, not okay, I mean, I'm still feeling sensations, but it's tolerable. But like I said before, when I get home and I go on the sofa, I feel it again. So look, Fen, if you're watching this, which you probably are, just get the exercise ball for a start, so you can inflate it. Just get like quite a big one, and then you've got something that you can, anything that you can have that right now that soothes you is going to help you whilst you're onboarding the medication. Now, you're on 25 milligrams, which is what I was on. I stayed there for way too long. I was on 25 milligrams for like 4 or 5 months, I think, probably even longer. If you subscribe to my channel, look at the playlist starting SSRIs for PPPD and chronic dizziness. You'll see from the very first week, you'll see how long I was on 25 for. I can't remember exactly, but it was way too long. And in hindsight, what I should have done was, my doctor had already given me a target dose. He said, we need to get you up to 100 before we'll know whether 100's too much or too less. So that was my target dose, but I stayed on 25 for so long because I was terrified of it, to be honest with you, and the side effects I was getting and everything. But I'm so glad that I stuck it out, and I had diazepam to help me as well whenever I had like a really bad time, which is usually around my period. So I got the exercise ball, which I still have but I don't use, and then I progressed from that onto a rocking chair. So in the winter I had a rocking chair to sit on so I could move on it, and what I'd try and do is I'd move for a while. I was actually rocking like someone in a sanatorium, just rocking, and then I'd try to stop and then see how long I could tolerate it, and then I'd start to soothe again. I was doing that. So I was working on physically soothing myself, because there's no point in talking calmly to your brain when your nervous system doesn't understand language. You have to show your body you're safe, not tell it, if that makes sense. I hope it does. So I went from the rocking chair then to getting a massager, which to be honest is the best thing that I've done. I got it on Amazon. I can send you a link, guys. I can drop it in the description below, but it was about £110, and I appreciate some of you haven't got that sort of money, but frankly I would do anything. I mean, that's like just over one therapy session, and I would much rather have spent my money on that than on therapy, to be honest with you. I've been over-therapized. I've had too much, if that's even a word. I've had too much therapy, when actually all I needed to do was just see it for what it is. The first thing you need to do is get these tools. Either get a massager, a rocking chair, a swing chair for the garden when it's summer, or get an exercise ball. Find the Steady Coach on YouTube, okay? Dr. Yoni Arthur. She knows what she's talking about. She's a mind-body therapist as well. She does that sort of work, and she's well informed. She's professional. She's a doctor, and she treats chronic dizziness specifically. Another channel when you're feeling really bad and you need that daily support, which we all do, is Pain Free You. There's a guy called Dan Buclio. He's like a coach, but he works in the sort of mind-body area, field, whatever, as well. Even though it's called Pain Free You, it's not specifically about pain. It's about symptoms, somatic symptoms, which is what we're experiencing. And I believe we're experiencing it because we are so programmed to deal so well with stress that our bodies are having to express the emotion and the energy in our bodies instead of in our minds, I guess. I'm not sure if that's right, but it's a form of expression. Unfortunately, where we're not experiencing it psychosomatically, it's somatically, and that's what this is. That's all this is. It's energy, emotion. Yeah, that's what it is. And when you understand the fundamentals by visiting those two channels, work on soothing yourself, take your medication as the doctor prescribes, very slowly but surely you'll get better. But you do need to get in the mindset right of, I am going to get better. Just get out of all the Facebook groups. I never joined a Facebook group because there's a lot of people saying, oh, woe is me, this, that and the other. You don't want to hear about people suffering. You want to hear about people getting well, because people do get well. I'm getting well. I've had a little bit of a difficult day. I've had a nice weekend. I've been in Margate. The sun is shining. The weather is sweet. And I've had a nice time with my partner. We've just enjoyed time. We just had time together, and I've been shopping and I've been eating a lot, and that's always good. And walking as well. But I had a message from my brother earlier, and unfortunately my brother is quite a trigger for me. There's a lot of internal stress and conflicts around him and my family because of what's happened, and obviously I've got ill because of sort of having to worry about everybody else, like my parents and my brother, and subjugating my own needs basically. And I'm trying to sort of learn to put myself first before other people. But anyway, we had a little chat, and it's a private thing, but He's asked for my help, and I said yes, of course I'll help you, but there was a kind of a misunderstanding, and he got the ump with me, and straight away, as soon as that happened, my tinnitus started again. This is how sensitive our nervous systems are, guys, when we're experiencing things like this. And I said to my other half, I said, as soon as I said these text messages backwards and forwards, it's making me ill. I can hear the nee, and I haven't had tinnitus for ages. I've been working so hard on calming myself down, but this is how easily we can be tipped back over again. So I had to sort of distance myself, take a few breaths, try and refocus on something else, you know. And I've had a sort of just before that text message conversation, I'm in my mum's car. My mum's passed away, but we've got her car, and I'm listening to a CD that I used to listen to as a little girl with my dad, and it was a particular song, and I had my eyes shut because it was really sunny, and with my eyes shut and that music on, it's like he was with me, next to me, and it was a very special song to him, and I just started crying. And then my brother messaged me, and it was just a bit too much, just overwhelm again. So yeah, I mean, but then it's gone back down again, it's gone back into the background, so the tinnitus has stopped. But that is such evidence of what this is. So I've really got to work hard on putting boundaries in place. Obviously I love my brother, and family should be there for each other always, but I have to also put boundaries in place so that I'm protecting myself, because I got triggered back into symptoms actually at my brother's house. This isn't his fault, this is just me saying yes, I'll do this and I'll do everything. But I'm not Superwoman, and I've got feelings too, and I've got emotions too, and I'm grieving too, and I've been, ignoring that, and that's my body screaming at me, going, hang on a minute, stop, what about you? What about you? And yeah, so as long as you kind of tune into things like that, then you'll realise exactly what's going on. How have I been doing the last week otherwise? I've been doing okay. I've been walking again. I've been doing, I'm back up to a minimum of 10,000 steps a day. I'm not going to bore you with it because I already told you on the last week what my routine is. But as part of my routine, I do a little walk to a bit by the lake. And when I say I meditate, I don't actually meditate. What I do is I just sit with myself in a calm, serene place amongst nature, completely alone, no headphones on or anything like that. I close my eyes, I cross my legs. I suppose I'm in the meditative pose, but I'm not in that state. I'm just going into my body, and I'm saying, how am I feeling today? What am I feeling? Am I feeling shaky legs? Am I hearing tinnitus sounds? Is my vision off? And I'm checking in, but without judgment, without frustration, without fear. So I'm describing to myself with curiosity, saying, oh, I feel this like in my feet, or oh, I'm feeling a slight movement anti-clockwise internally, and oh, that's interesting, which is what Yoni Arthur describes as somatic tracking. But I'm not doing like a guided meditation, I'm just naturally doing it. I make a point of checking in with myself every morning and doing that. I'm also using a lot of crystals at the moment, and that's not for everybody, but it's part of manifestation. Crystals contain energy, and I'm putting my energy into them in order for them to give energy back to me. So I give them intentions, like I use certain stones because I know they're good metaphysically, if you know what I mean by that. There's a physical world and there's metaphysical, so it's the energy that's surrounding your physical body, and I'm very, very sensitive to that kind of energy. So like I said, it's not for everybody, but it does work for me. And I've been wearing certain crystals and setting intentions for them to protect me. So that's a kind of like a talisman, I suppose, like a faith. It's a kind of a faith because I'm spiritualist. So Anyway, so that's helped me as well, and I've been grieving a bit more, showing a bit more emotion towards the loss of my parents, because that's a kind of a big deal, you know. Both of them have passed away in a very short space of time, and I don't know why I shouldn't cry about it or shouldn't feel angry about it. And it's not good to bottle these things up. So I'm learning to express. I'm learning that it's safe to express emotions. And I don't know why I'm programmed to think that it's not safe. But once we express those emotions, the idea is that the body doesn't have to give off these signals of danger, look, you know, something's wrong. So anyway, I'm doing okay. And the HRT is good so far, touch wood. I don't even know how many weeks, but I think I'm week 4. I'm going to keep going for the 3 months and see what happens. The night sweats are still happening, guys, so it's highly likely that that's sertraline. But as I said, I'm going to give it until 3 months on the HRT, see if that stops. If it doesn't stop, I am going to come down to 75 milligrams of sertraline. Fen, I've no doubt you'll respond to me anyway, but it took me, I mean, I'm not a better yet either, but I'd say I'm 70% recovered, which is amazing. But it took me 6 months on 100 to fully get out of the hypervigilant state, the checking in state all the time, monitoring. Ooh, just dropped the glasses off. It took me a while to get out of that. But also, as I've said to you, it's not just the medication, it's having things to look forward to, it's having the right support from a partner, from friends, from family, and things to do, things to occupy your mind, doing things you enjoy. It's a whole person approach. It's not just take the medication, you'll be better. It doesn't work like that. You have to make changes, positive changes in your life. I look like I've got a moustache. That's quite funny. It's the light. Look, I've got a handlebar moustache. Anyway, I'm going to leave you with that because that's actually quite funny. Oh, look. Got a goatee. Anyway, yes, I'll love you and leave you. I hope you're okay. And if you're not, reach out and I'll see you on Sunday.